What is going on, everybody? It is Matthew back with the final round and the first and only video of round 6, which is my finals for the My Favorite Hasbro tournament. Because of the amount of figures I had in the semifinals, which, yeah, I know semifinals consist of 4 characters, but I am calling the video for round 5 my semifinals because it was only 7 figures. And this video for round 6, it only has 3 winners. So it's going to be a 3-man championship round to select the My Favorite Hasbro. It's going to feature from Series 8 Yokozuna, also from Series 8 the Bret the Hitman Hart repaint, and a Series 3 custom Brutus the Barber Beefcake. This figure comes from Robert Jackson and is a carbon copy of the Mega Maniac prototype that Hasbro was supposed to have released but just never did. Now, getting to this round was about as difficult as you could ever imagine. I wish I had like a little stand or something I could sit these guys on. That way you guys could look at the figures while I'm talking about them. Because you have 3 absolutely perfect figures. Perfect in every way, shape, and form. You have the heaviest figure of the entire line, which reminds me of King Kong Bundy from LJN. And I absolutely love those figures that have all that weight to it. And like King Kong Bundy, when you get this figure on card, just feeling the weight of that card, just putting it on display, seeing the shape of the bubble, this is such an incredible piece and one of my absolute highlights. Now, there are very few Hasbros that I have carded. Now, that bring me as much joy as the Series 8 Series 8 Yokozuna. Yes, I have the green card Yokozuna as well. Based on sheer value, yeah, the white card, or the white pants, white belt, strap, whatever you want to call it, is going to bring more value, more joy because it is green card, and the Series 11 figures are like crazy rare, crazy expensive. This figure has so many attributes that no other Yokozuna figure has been able to emulate. The rotundness, the roundness of the figure, as far as a finisher, where he would jump off the ropes, do that little, butt flop where he'd fall on your chest, referee would pin you, 1, 2, 3, bam, you're done. Everything that you need from punching to producing a perfect body slam, like over the top body slam, absolute perfect. Holding this figure is just so much fun. Like, every time I hold this figure, all I want to do is just wrestle the other guys that I have, even if it's just kind of like goofing off, like right now, like, throwing a few punches, not seriously wrestling him or anything. It's just a lot of enjoyment to hold this figure and want to do something with them. If I were to ever be a kid again and just kind of create like wrestling matches with these guys, I would absolutely love to. How could I ever not make Yokozuna my champion, and how could anyone ever defeat him? This is the most enjoyable figure I would think that for any kid to want to play with. The problem is, he is squaring off against a Series 8 Bret Hart. One of the absolute most perfect figures in the line. And it starts with playability. Yeah, Yokozuna has that awesome hand alignment as far as distance, but this figure gives you the best punches. It gives you the best body slam pose. Now, obviously, you can't really body slam a Yokozuna with this pose. And with the legs spread apart, I mean, certain figures, you just can't do that. So, it really depends on which figure you use. I mean, if you wanted to body slam himself, for example, he'd have that perfect slam. And you know how much I covet figures with beautiful body slam poses. I mean, what do I always talk about? Color scheme. the heart with the wings. You know, hey, Red Bull gives you wings and stuff. Whatever. um, Everything with the display of this figure is just so phenomenal. I talked about the history of Bret Hart, his loyalty with the World Wrestling Federation, how he was basically screwed over. And, you know, Bret Hart's still alive today, which is pretty great. A lot of your wrestlers from LJN from the 1980s, a lot of those wrestlers aren't alive today. There are quite a few characters, you know, Hasbro characters that I grew up watching that, you know, still live today, which, you know, you're always sad when you hear of someone's passing, like Razor Ramon last year. And I just think I got like a signed original San Francisco toy maker. I think it was like one of those little push button, either moving arms or something, original San Francisco toys. It was signed by Scott Hall. And I think maybe a couple weeks later, after I received that in the mail, Scott Hall had had passed away. I forget if he had cancer or whatnot. I think he was having an operation or something and died, if I'm not mistaken. I remember reading about it, but to this day, all I can think about is, hey, Razor Ramon gone, and it's sad. That's one of those guys you grew up watching, and you know you absolutely love watching. You know, Intercontinental Champion and Tag Team Champ. Razor Ramon and Ric Flair, terrible tag team combination. They don't even look like they mesh well together, but that doesn't go with this matchup here. But do I have a sure case winner between Bret Hart and Yokozuna? I want to do one-on-one real quick, because if Bret Hart defeats Yokozuna and then I put, you know, Bret Hart against Bruce Beefcake, that makes it a whole lot easier, right? You know, I can't say, but that's not always true either. You know, back in the early and mid-90s when we had NBA Jam for Sega Genesis, I used to always beat my oldest brother Eddie at NBA Jam. You know, I always beat him. He never beat me. But I would always lose to my older brother Richard. I could never defeat him. It drove me nuts. Yet Richard could never defeat Eddie. So it's like you had this three people and we always went in a circle. You know, it's not like I beat him and him, but these two can never beat me type of deal. It's I beat him, he beat me, he beat him type of deal. It's just it was a pain in the neck. This has the potential to be the same way. Bruce Beefcake could beat Yokozuna. Yokozuna could be better than Bret Hart, but Bret Hart could be better than Bruce Beefcake. Well, who's your surefire winner in that case? I mean, it would be selfish of me to sit back and say, you know what? It's the finals. This is my tournament. I choose the way I want this tournament to run, and I'm making all three of these guys my favorite Hasbro figure. No, you guys want a sure case winner, and I want a sure winner as well. But it's just looking at them, and there's just no sure answer as to who I can immediately kick out. A lot of these three-man matchups, you know, you find that one figure, you put two guys against each other. Which one I like better? I like this one better. Bam. Let's go to the last two and choose from there. Such a difficult decision. If I had to choose at this particular moment, I would probably kick out Brutus Beefcake. Now, the only reason I would do so, and there's not the only reason, but I think a couple things kind of why I would first remove Brutus Beefcake. Now, for nostalgic reasons, yes, the Bret Hart figure means the absolute world to me. And right now, it's why I think he has the best chance, probably better than 50% chance of winning this tournament. So that's number one. Both Yokozuna and Bret Hart both have their legs spread apart. This is a beautiful look with a beautiful figure. Do not mind this spreading the legs at all. That is not a knock on this figure, but for body slamming, which I covet, yeah, you're gonna sit there and Bruce Beefcake is gonna be able to do a beautiful body slam on like a Bret Hart, for example. But what I always talk about, it's not just about the body slam pose, but about the legs being spread apart far enough to be body slammed. I talk about the Series 1 LJN all the time because of that reason. Because of the way the legs are separated and bent at the knees. Perfect for everything. For every fightability, playability you want to get from those figures. Now, taking that in consideration, if I would choose Bret Hart above the Bruce Beefcake figure, that means Beefcake automatically is already gone because I already covet one figure above him. But what if I put these two against each other? Would I say that Bruce Beefcake is better than Yokozuna? Because if I say Bruce Beefcake is better than Yokozuna, then we're in trouble. Because then we really do have to have a Beefcake or Yoko versus Bret Hart and see if Bret Hart defeats Yokozuna type of deal. Because it could be a whole circle type of deal, and that would make it an impossible decision. Two perfect figures. With Yokozuna, with everything that I covet about this figure, I don't know. I just have loved this figure for. I mean, again, I didn't know about probably 75% of the Hasbro figures. Not until I got them a couple years ago when I started collecting Hasbros. So, I don't know, out of 12 figures from Series 1, another, I think 14 figures from Series 2 of Hasbro, we probably had 10 of those figures, maybe 12. Something like that. I don't know. And then Series 4, we had 3 figures. So, I literally never knew any other figure existed from Series 3 or 5 onward. So, when I first got this figure and held it in my hand, the excitement it brings, the excitement it still brings by holding this figure. Can I really eliminate a custom figure at this current moment? Or can I at least push one of these other figures, Yokozuna or Bret Hart, out to keep this guy going? I mean, I already thought a custom Bret Hart was going to win this whole tournament, so, it's very possible you could see the custom Brutus win. It's just not going to happen, guys. I love this figure, no doubt about it. It had an absolutely remarkable showing, and I truly hope I get the opportunity to make a Hasbro tournament again. If not my favorite Hasbro tournament, it's got to be my favorite Hasbro tournament, because with the more Hasbros I acquire, the more customs, the more figures, your opinions change. I mean, I said it before with the reason I haven't been able to, continue the countdown of my favorite LJN figures. I'd done a top 10, and I followed up 6 months later with a 21 through 30 list, but I haven't done, or 11 through 20 list, but I haven't done 21 onward. And why? Part of it has to do with the fact that I made 2 of those videos already that didn't save properly, so it sucks to have to redo something you've already done. The second is, I don't remember who I chose 21 through 30, 31 through 40. And I always say, someone you put on a list 1 through 10 today, that list 1 through 10 could be completely different tomorrow. Meaning, not only would you not have the same figures in the same order, you probably wouldn't even have the same characters on that list. So, what you covered today may not be well received the next day. That's what I always say, and that's why I just haven't been able to follow up. But yes, guys, that is on my itinerary at some point in my life to continue that countdown and try to do a countdown of all the figures in order of my preference. So I've done so far I've done 1 through 20, and I might do that with Hasbro one day. So with this matchup, I can't really say anything that hasn't been said before, so it's going to boil down to nostalgia versus, I don't know, what can I say about Yokozuna? Feel? The feel of the figure versus nostalgia of the figure. Throughout this tournament, time and time again, I kept talking about Bret Hart Series 4 or Undertaker Series 4 being my last two men standing, or maybe the Series 8 Bret Hart and possibly Series 3 Ultimate Warrior. I thought maybe the custom Bret Hart might win the entire tournament. The Brutus Beefcake custom, Mega Mania custom could have won the entire tournament. There have been so many great figures that had legitimate chances. And just because you saw a figure eliminated in round 1, round 2 doesn't mean I wouldn't put them among my most elite figures. Especially round 2 onward, when you became a luck of the draw, pick a name out of a hat. I kind of just keep talking when I don't want to make a choice. I think everybody's noticed that about me. When I have an extremely difficult decision and it's one I don't want to make, more importantly, I just don't know who to choose. I don't. I'm at a loss. 1994 Royal Rumble, Lex Luger, Bret Hart. That's what I want to do with this right now. You know, they both go over the ropes. They both touch the floor. They both win. I want both of these guys to be crown winner. If I can't have a 3-man winner, let me have a 2-man winner. I don't know. Alright, guys, I'm going to stop wasting your time. I'm going to pick somebody. Alright, one more glance over. Bret Hart has the nostalgia feel. He has the pose. He has the colors. Yokozuna definitely has the pose. He has the physique of the body better than any other figure or any other toy maker has made of this character. You know, the detail of the pants isn't bad with the draw straps, the drawstrings, and all that. That weight keeps getting to me. It's the weight that keeps bringing me to that value, though. The accessory is not original, as you guys know. One of the guys I buy from, Raheem Sadru, he is a UK seller, UK customizer. He makes a lot of my Hasbro accessories. A lot of my Hasbro accessories that aren't original accessories. But I also get some original accessories. Originally customized accessories made from them. And the robe, again, being one of those non-original accessories that go great with the figure. I'm about to put one of these guys down. I just don't know which one. Yokozuna was on my list of top 10 favorite Hasbro figures. And he filled the number 1 spot. Series 8 Yokozuna, a year ago almost, I had listed my top 10 as favorite figures. And to think he almost lost this tournament. But I'm glad I created that list a year ago because... I'm glad he won this tournament, because if he didn't win this tournament, then that list from a year ago would make no sense. But this, by no stretch of the imagination, was an easy choice. This was a legitimate struggle for all 3 figures. when it was all three figures, I think Yokozuna, if I had to put a percentage on it, maybe a 40% chance of winning, with Bret Hart having another 37% chance of winning, and maybe a 23% chance winning for Bruce Beefcake. So once Bruce Beefcake was eliminated, it wasn't 50-50. I think once I finally made my decision, I think Yokozuna had like a 50.1 to 49.9 type of edge over Bret Hart. So this wasn't a super easy decision by any means. These, I guess, essentially would be classified as your two finalists. And Yokozuna does walk out as my all-time favorite Hasbro figure. And I think a lot of people are going to be excited that I did choose an original accessory, or an original figure. I think a lot of people may have been disappointed in my LJN tournaments because an original figure didn't win. But again, none of those battles were easy either. So whether you're looking at LJN or Hasbro tournaments, they were both extremely difficult to choose, especially as you got later on in the matchups, later on rounds. There legitimately could have been any winner at any point. Awesome figures. That does conclude the Hasbro tournament. Just like my LJN tournament, you're super excited, super thrilled to have completed, such an undertaking. But at the same time, man, you get such pleasure, so much enjoyment from making these videos that when they're complete, you just don't know what to do with yourself anymore. And will I make another Hasbro tournament in the future? Right now, I want to say no. Would I like to? Absolutely. If there's a outpouring of comments saying, you know what, hey, so and so time later, come back, do this tournament again. We'd love to see if there's any changes. I mean, you guys that watched my first tournament and then came back and watched my second tournament, you guys saw that it was not the same tournament by any means. It was, you saw guys in the 5th round in the first tournament eliminated in the first or second round the second time. You saw guys who made it to the finals or an actual finalist in my first tournament in round 7, eliminated in round 3 in the second tournament. So it was a completely different tournament than the first one. You didn't have the exact same matchups or anything, so it was a fresh take and everything. And if I do this Hasbro tournament again, yeah, absolutely, it'll be very similar. It'll be some of the first round matchups might be the same, especially if I keep doing original figures versus their custom counterparts. But I don't know, because of the sheer quantity, I might just pick who I like the best out of that and just put that one figure up. So if I have, for sake of argument, let's say I have 10 Honky Tonk Man figures, 1 custom, 9 customs. So 1 original, 9 customs. I'll say, you know what? I like this custom the best. And I pick out that custom. That custom will be part of my tournament. I wouldn't do a video trying to choose my option or choose my answer from that. But again, at this point, I've made my decision. I know who my favorite character is or my favorite figure, so I don't really see a need to make another one. But these videos always bring me a lot of joy, so I have no problem making another tournament like this down the road. It doesn't have to be years down the road. It could be months down the road. Just so that enough time passes where when we do create another tournament, it would be something unique and fresh. I really enjoy these tournaments. They bring a lot of joy, as I said. So my question is, are there any other tournaments I could make? Galoob is an obvious answer, but Galoob is also 2 series deep, which means you'd probably have that tournament completed in like 4 or 5 videos, which for viewership, I'm sure that would make it really easy on people. Remcos, obviously I don't have all those Series 5 Remcos. I mean, I got a custom Barbarian from Series 5, and I think I have a Referee original. That's about it. So I wouldn't be able to show off all the figures. Again, we're probably looking at maybe 4 or 5 videos at most. And because their bodies are pretty much the same, you're basically looking at colors on which one. Hey, I like the red better than the white type of deal. Yeah. So, that is it for now, guys. I'm trying to look around the room and see if there's any upcoming videos. I will be doing a review on the Winston Toys erasers. I will be doing a review on the Bendies, the Thumb Wrestlers, and the Cello toy line. But by the time this video right here gets posted, I probably would have already posted those videos. I would have probably already made and posted those videos. So if I haven't, those are going to be due up. If I have, then just forget what I'm saying right now. Anyways, guys, I'm going to shut up because, again, I always talk like crazy at the end of my videos. I don't want these videos to run too long. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please let me know if you really love this tournament, because it does bring a smile to my face, most definitely. Thanks, everyone. I will talk to you later. Goodbye for now.